Hello, I'm Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, and welcome to my weekly Casing the Catalog video and blog, where I feature current products and try to imitate one of the cards that's been made as a sample in the catalog. So this is what we're going to make today. I sell the products that I use in my videos, and I hope that you will visit my blog and shop with my online store. Get my chair over here and let's get started. So today I am featuring the Autumn Greetings dies, and the dies are called Autumn Essentials dies. They're found on page 50 of the catalog right here, and this is the card I'm going to be imitating today. Now, when I say I case the catalog, it's never going to be exactly like the catalog picture because I never have everything that they use. So in this particular case, the background is from a different pack of designer series paper. It's got plaids in it, and I did not buy that packet this year. So I am substituting something different, but everything else is pretty much the same. So let's get started. Started with a piece of Very Vanilla. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 to make an A2 greeting card that will open from the side. So it'll open like this. Then this paper that I'm going to use instead of the plaid is the Gilded Autumn designer series paper. And when I turn it over, you're going to go, oh, because you don't want to not use that beautiful shiny paper, but this is the side I wanted. So we're going to put this on the front. It is the full size of the card. So it is 4 1/4 by 5.5. Because I wanted to cover, I'm getting this all twisted here, because I wanted to cover the full front of the card. So let's do that. There we go. Just like that. Then I took a piece of Very Vanilla, and it is 3 1/4 by 5.5. And I used the die. These are the Autumn Essentials dies. There's I didn't buy the stamp set, but there's a piece here to cut out for the stamp that's in the set. And then there's pumpkin details and some wheat fronds, and then there's 2 borders, and I'll show you those in a minute. And so I used the border die and cut the border down both sides of the vanilla, and then we're going to attach it to the front with dimensionals. And I put like 8 dimensionals on this because I wanted it supported well. So maybe more than you think you need. It's up to you. But because I wasn't sticking down the sides, I kind of wanted the rest of it to be well supported. So get that. And this is going to leave a 1/2 inch border on both edges, left and right side. And I just used my grid paper here because I want a 1/2 inch, which is 2 squares. It's actually going to be 3/4 of an inch, excuse me. And so you've got 3 squares, and you can use that to kind of line it up so that you've got it straight on your card. And there's that. Then next, let's do the pumpkins next. Next, I cut out the pumpkins. The pumpkins come from Cajun Craze and Terracotta Tile. And so there's 2 like this and 1 like that. And if I had been thinking, I would have cut the detailed pieces. I would have put double-sided adhesive on the back, and they would have been much easier to attach, but I didn't do that. So I am going to use my zig 2-way glue pen, and I'm just going to put some glue on here very carefully on each of these little spines, I guess, and we will attach them to our pumpkins. I want to get that up. There we go. And we'll do this one. I'm not usually this careful, but I'm trying to keep from making my work surface all sticky here. So I'm trying to keep it on the tines. And there's that one. Oh, now it stays stuck. Always something. Let me get that back up here so I can get it back in place. There we go. I have a tendency to rush things. Okay, and for the final one here. Like I say, if I'd have been thinking, I'd have put some double-sided adhesive on the back of these. And then it would have been much easier to... I'm going to get it to let go of me, and we'll push that aside. Okay, those are the pumpkins. Then I cut the wheat fronds. I cut 2 of these. Yeah, I cut 2 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of these. And to put them together, the easiest way I could think of was I just took a little piece of cardstock, because it's going to get hidden, and I put some tape on it, and then I arranged them the way I wanted them arranged. So I put that one on that way, I put the straight one on straight up and down right in here. Then I've got this one that I kind of did over this way, and no 2 cards are going to be exactly the same, but I used 4 pieces all together, and I'm going to put this one, and he's going to need a little more adhesive here to hold him in place, and this one I'm going to put right in here like this. And then I am going to, because this is going to go down behind the pumpkins and it's not going to show, I'm cutting off these extra stems. And I'm going to get them out of the way. So it'll look like that. And these 2 pumpkins then, bring the card front back, are going to sit, I'm going to dry fit it here a little bit. They're going to sit right here and cover most of that up. And then this 3rd pumpkin will cover the rest of it up. And I put these on flat as well. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of that and some zig glue pin on the backs of these, just to kind of hold them down in place. Doesn't need a lot. And I'm probably placing this a good 1.5 to 2 inches above the base of the card. So there's the fronds. Then these 2 pumpkins, these 2 with the rust or Cajun Craze background, they're going to go on just flat right here. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, about like that. And then this one, I want it up a little higher. I'm going to kind of make them more even at the top. And then this one is going to go on with dimensionals. And I will put 2 dimensionals on there. Come on. And I will finish covering up that centerpiece that I used with that pumpkin. So there's the pumpkin part. Then this is Cajun Craze. It is 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's longer than I need, and it has the border cut out of it because this is going to create the edging that's going to go on this sentiment piece. And this sentiment piece is cut from crumb cake, and it's approximately 4 inches long. It's not an exact science. I just cut a piece 3/4 inches. I'm going to cut one end off like that, and then I'm eyeballing it here because I want it to overlap just a little bit. So I think I want my other end to be out here, and I'm going to do the same angle like that, and it's going to end up kind of tucking up underneath like this, so it gives that pumpkin a base. So that's what that's going to look like. But let's stamp the sentiment. Now I didn't have the stamp set, so I went to a different stamp set, Ornate Thanks, and I used the stamps from them, and the front one is going to say just wanted to say, and I'm stamping it with Early Espresso. Just wanted to say. Then I'm going to turn it over and put a strip of adhesive on the back of it, and I'm going to attach it to this, and I want just a portion of it to show. I don't want the whole thing to show, so that looks about right to me. So then I will cut this end to match, and this end to match, and there's my sentiment ready to attach. I'm going to attach it with dimensionals as well, and because I'm tucking it under that pumpkin, I'm only going to put dimensionals on each end. And actually, you're going to want to be, I'm going to pick those up because you want to be careful. I want to make sure that they're staying on the vanilla piece and not over where the cutouts are, because I don't want it to stick through them. So I want to bring them in just a little bit like that. And then I'm going to tuck it in here. Cooperate. Best laid plans. And we're going to tuck it in there like that. Make sure I got it lined up where I want it, and I do. And there's the card. I need to press those down so they'll stay. There we go. So that's the front of the card. Then on the inside of the card, I added a second sentiment, and it says, "You made my day." So the front says, "Just wanted to say," and this says, "You made my day." And I'm just going to stamp it right here at the bottom like that, and that's all I'm putting on the inside of the card. So there's the card, and it's finished. Now for the envelope, I did this. I took a piece of the paper that I was using, the DSP, like this, and I turned it over. I laid the envelope flap on it, traced around it, and cut it out. And here it is, all cut out. And then I took that border die and I ran it through the border. I don't know if you can see it. Let me hold it against something vanilla. There you go. So you can see that I put the border on there. And again, this would work best if you did it with double-sided adhesive on the back, because then it would make everything sticky, including this part here, and it would not have a tendency to peel up on your envelope. But that being said, I didn't do that, and I'm going to run a bead down on the envelope itself instead of trying to do it on the piece I'm adhering. And I am going to match up the edges, and so then the vanilla shows through just a little bit. And then sometimes you have to turn it over and maybe trim it just a little bit. So I'm going to trim it here, and everything else, oh, maybe just a little bit here. So I never cut perfectly straight. And so there's the envelope. Now some of that adhesive I put in there is sticky through design. So I just took my embossing buddy and tapped it with some of that, and it takes that sticky away. And there, it's stuck down. It creates a beautiful envelope to go with a beautiful card. And there is my Casing the Catalog. I'm glad you stopped by, and I hope you enjoyed the video.